And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy.
This antiquated main stand, I can feel it vibrating.
Jay, they got a penalty here, there'll be fish flying about that. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football!
This is Vernon! Vernon scored! The supporters are invading the pitch because Grimsby Town have caused one of the biggest upsets in the history.
Love it.
Today's episode of the DM35 podcast is sponsored by the number 94. Last week, the number 94 cursed us. In the 94th minute, we missed a penalty through Reece Staunton, but just 7 beautiful days later, the number 94 comes up trump as we gain a wonderful win at Cambridge United last night after Cam McJannett's worldie to win it and make us just 3 points away from a permanent playoff place. We have Mike, we have Sam, we have John. We thought we'd come back again this evening because we're all in a very good mood. Sam, you were at Cambridge last night. How the atmosphere on the telly came through massively. How was it in the away end? Was you limbing up?
I think is the word I would use to describe it in the away end. I know this isn't the main point, but just goes to show what a proper old terrace can do in terms of making a great kind of reaction to a last-minute goal like that one. I was exaggerating a bit last night when I said on Twitter that I've not celebrated a goal as much as that ever, because obviously I celebrated Nathan Arles at Wembley more or Luke Waterfalls at Wrexham more, but it was properly pandemonium in there at the end. Shambles. That's better, isn't it? Okay, I'm blocking the. So I was blocking the light there. It looked like there was some weird thing in the background for you guys who only listened. I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, it was really, really good. Hooking people you didn't know very well, just jumping up and down, going bananas. And it was a funny sort of goal because it didn't half just trickle over. I didn't see who'd scored it for a start because it just sort of bumbled over the line. I could see the keeper had made a mess of it. That was more the Jay Keefe I remember playing for us rather than the one apparently Cambridge said was the best keeper in the league. But no, if you want to talk about the game as well, talk about having discussed the away end. I don't know, really. I thought it was an even game between two sides with competing philosophies, to be honest with you. We could have been 2-0 up early doors. They could have equal. They could have made it 2. They had loads of chances before we eventually scored as well. It was a way more open game than I was expecting. But of course, you guys can observe on the game in the way that as best you can do the away end, so I'll give you an opportunity. But I thought we played quite well, actually. I thought Storms had a right curate's performance, world-class delivery for the goal, completely lost his man for their equaliser, and generally had a bit of a tough time. Both of our fullbacks against their very, very fast and direct wingers. You can sort of see why Cambridge was successful, I thought. There was no science to it. There was no secret. It was fast, it was direct, it was quick, it was long balls, it was balls in behind, it was set piece, it was long throws. Even though it's not very pretty, you can see why it's got results this season. And yet, actually, we celebrated the final whistle almost as much as we did the goal, to be honest with you, because after we scored, we did end up with a bit of a siege in our box in the last couple of minutes. I thought it seemed to go on for bloody hours. We were playing 90+10 by the time it finally finished.
We was, and Jake Eastwood came up for a corner as well. And I thought surely this is going to be poetic that after the goal happens, Eastwood bangs one in at the other end, but it wasn't to happen. Mike, you've got the mic off. You watched it last night on telly. You were always now. I'm going to defend Mike a little bit here because he's had a few pelters on social media to state that he said the game was a free hit. Now, what I think, in fact, I know what he meant by that. I'll let Mike explain. But Mike, how much do you enjoy three free points last night?
It's not bad for a free hit, was it? I mean, first off, I mean, I don't think it should be taken literal, what you say on Twitter in a couple of characters straight after result. But after Tuesday's debacle and how we all felt, yesterday was a must win. After Saturday and the results that went our way, it wasn't. It wasn't a must win. And that's sort of where I was coming from. It was a pressure off sort of game compared to where we were 48 hours beforehand. But in terms of the game, I thought we started really well. I was surprised how open Cambridge were. I thought you could get at them, and we did. And then we got a deserved goal. Lovely bit of work for 2 or 3 minutes. It was a nice bit of build-up playing. We were playing it round and dragging them about, and I thought that was lovely. Get the throw in, really simple into Staunton, and he gets the ball in, and there's Kieran Green as he has been all season and last season. So that was good. Really, really out of character for the goal we conceded. Firstly, Rodgers. Anybody getting a cross in against Rodgers these days is something to write home about. It doesn't happen very often. And then Staunton just it's not laziness, because no footballer is lazy. I don't think. I think that's banded around a lot, but it's sort of a mental sort of switch off. He's mentally switched off. He thinks Rodgers is going to block it, and then it's 1-1. Second half, I think they were really good. You could see why, as Sam said, you can see why they are where they are. But we weathered it. Every single player that was on that pitch put in a performance and grafted and weathered that storm. And there's lots of teams. Every other team bar Harrogate has gone there and not weathered it, and we did. And when you do that, you deserve a late winner, because you've put your collars up, put your sort of shoulder to the wheel. And you deserve that late winner. And the scenes, the emotion, the feeling of getting that. I said yesterday, how are you meant to go to sleep after that? So full credit to everybody that was there. The fans sounded amazing all game. Looked great when we scored. Limbs everywhere. So yeah, really, really good. And what a difference a week makes. We were all absolutely apoplectic on Tuesday, rightly. Rightly, I think it's poor performance. I think there was an issue, and we missed a penalty. But football, bloody hell, it's a game that you can never rely on. Never think this team's going to win that game and then we're done, because it won't happen. It never happens, and it doesn't happen in League Two. Me and Youngie have said this for a while. League Two will League Two. So yeah, we're in the box seat now, and we get to finish the job on Saturday.
John, what were the scenes like in your front room yesterday? We got some overexcited WhatsApp messages from you. Were cats kicked? Were babies thrown in the air? How was you feeling at 10 o'clock last night?
I went out to get a cat and a baby just so I could throw them in the air. There were none readily available. My boy was in bed, and I don't live in the biggest place, being in London. So there was a lot of silent but wild physical celebrations. And much like Mike's injury, I think I might have sort of pulled a muscle, sort of getting a bit too excited there. Let's start with the limbs, because that was a really special moment. And I was so jealous that I wasn't there. I couldn't make it. I had stuff on late in the day yesterday and very early this morning work-wise, but fair play to all the fans, and Sam, credit to you and everyone who went, because you sounded incredible. The scenes at the end and the connection between this team and the fans is really reminiscent of that 21-22 team, isn't it? They've really started, and that performance was very 21-22. Is that the right year? Am I thinking the promotion year?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. It was quite a Hurst-like performance, I thought. I said that last night. And I say that in a very positive way, by the way, with all the good stuff we attribute to Hurst, which is building good team spirit, that connection between the fans, working hard for each other. Even, last minute goals, chucking yourself at it when balls are flying around the box. Very Hurst-like in the best possible way. And if you want to become a bit Hurst-like, now's the time to do it, right? Just before you get into, hopefully, the playoffs. We're hitting form at the right time. We've got a bit of momentum at the right time. The players seem to be stepping up at the right time. I want to just get into a bit more of the detail, but I think we really have to caveat all of this by, the job is not done. We still have a big job to do against a team that is above us, against a team that we have a pretty poor record against in recent years. And we've got to step up. And I think if we do, we win it. And I think we get the job done. But by no means is it a given. at all. This is a team that still have to fight for something, and who knows? You know, we haven't performed in front of big crowds in the past, so let's not get too carried away. But my God, it was a brilliant atmosphere last night. In terms of the game, I think first half pretty even, could have easily gone one way or the other. I think the second half, what did I say? I think I used the word warriors last night. I thought every single player on that pitch, including the subs, I think that's key because the bench was really strong. Every single one of those players stepped up and worked for each other and battled. And we've talked about Artell's, style of play a lot. We've talked about our ability to play teams off the park. We've also talked about when that hasn't quite gone to plan and our inability to sort of tough it out. And I think last night we saw a really good sign of that. And I think McJanet said it in his interview I saw today when he said, we've got to bring the good stuff and we've also got to bring the dirty stuff, haven't we? We've got to make sure that we're tough. And I just felt so proud of that team. And I just want to say, and I don't know, but I'm feeling so on a high still, that if any of those players are listening to this at all, thank you for taking us as far as you've got us this season and for performances like that. And you can do it. You've got it in you to finish the job on Saturday. There's no doubt about it. If we want it, we've got it. But performances like that will be remembered for a very, very long time. It really was a special performance. I don't know if you want to get into some of the detail. I'd love to talk about Jacko's penalty save because I think that has gone under the radar. I thought that was a fantastic save. We'll talk about that. And very happy to sort of, dissect the goal because who cares how they go in? I cannot believe Eastwood fluffed it. And I cannot believe I watched it back several hundred times today and I still don't get how the defender doesn't get it. It seems to just take an age to trickle in and he's almost sort of stumbling over it. Who cares? It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So well done to the whole team. And as I say, well done to all the fans that travelled. I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm really buzzing. Just got to do one more big push, lads.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you've put that absolutely brilliantly. And absolutely, them scenes at the end and what you said there about a connection, it's slowly been coming, I feel, the connection. And last night was the real kind of like, I think there is a real love now between the supporters and this set of players, which is fantastic. Let's talk about the penalty save because Artell said in his post-match, didn't he, that that was a deliberate decision, wasn't it? So Jackson Smith and Crowdson had talked about it, and apparently he'd hit some penalties straight on as well. So brilliant from the coaching staff there to kind of identify that. And that must be nervy as a goalkeeper to stick to your guns in that position and go, I'm not moving. Because you look a bit of a twat if it don't come off, don't you? So I think full credit for Jackson Smith's poker face there because he did brilliantly not to change his mind.
So I think there's two things I want to say about it because I think it was really it's gone under the radar of how good a save it was. So you're absolutely right. He makes that brave decision to stand up to the penalty, which is not easy. But what he also did was he still had to make a save. So it doesn't just go straight at him. He actually has to react from 12 yards from a dead ball situation. If you watch, there's a really good clip from, I think, behind the shot. And he actually slightly leans to his left and then has to adjust his foot to his right. It was very reminiscent, I thought, of that Emi Martinez save in the World Cup final, albeit from a dead ball position rather than a moving ball position. But if that's an open play, that is one of the greatest saves you've seen. So he doesn't just have to stand up and be brave. From a Cambridge point of view, that's a bad penalty. He hits it straight. He's, it's not a good penalty. If we missed that, we berate the player. But Smith has to stand up and then react from 12 yards out in no time at all. I think it was absolutely magnificent. If he dives the right way and he gambles, fine, but he has to react to the shot after it's taken place. So I think, we've absolutely sung his praises, haven't we, since December. And I think he's absolutely, if we couldn't love him more, last night just cemented his position as a seriously fundamental part of why this team has got so good and is the top of the form table in the last few months. So serious credit to him. because I think it looks like a straight penalty gone down the middle. It's not. He has to save it. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, we've spoken before, haven't we, about our penalty problems, and I've said before, most times a goalkeeper wants to perform positive action. Just standing there, you look like a bit of a dick. So I don't know why more penalties aren't hit down the middle, because most of the time they do dive out of the way. So it did go under the radar a little bit last night with the ecstasy of the goal, but I don't think it will in the grand scheme of the season, because I think that's a turning point. You go 2-1 down there against a really good defence that will probably tighten up a bit, get a little bit more compact. It's going to be very, very difficult to break that down. And then you are going into 2 games where you need 2 wins. So yeah, it was brilliant, and it was just absolute ecstasy, wasn't it?
Get him there!
No celebration. He's pure joy, isn't it? He's just like, he's flapping his arms around. Now, you don't know what to do with himself. It is absolute pure joy, and I love that. Sam, you wanted to say something about the penalty, didn't you?
No, it wasn't about the penalty, actually. It was more about the because you sort of covered the penalty. It was more the way that, tapping into the Hurst point you made, actually, in that you can now actually see the lads when basically they're under the cosh quite a lot in the second half, after half time, and then after conceded, and they were heading balls away, putting their bodies on the line. No, it's not going to war. No one's dying for this. I don't really know. I shouldn't use that expression. Ralphie Rogers is taking one in the face, full on. It's all very reminiscent of the Hurst days in terms of players actually kind of doing their all for the bad, because it's not just a job for them. Even right down to the lads coming on. I mean, there was talked a lot about how the squad's a lot better this season, but Bunny Warren after the game, after we've gone ahead, has had 2 fantastic headed clearances. Will look like from here in added time to get them away from goal, which is just, and everybody, even though Bunny's not played very much recently, Clark Ador's another one in that situation. He's been out the side for ages. But he's kept himself fit and fresh, and he's lasted 85 minutes again. Players coming on, it could be very easy to throw a tangential thing. I should be playing, and yet they're all desperate to do well for the badge, which you haven't seen since the Hurst days. I know it's a bit of a Sam bigging up Hurst there. I get that, but I get that point. But no, I thought it was great. Should we just talk about actually kind of like the thing that I would say, the point there, John, is the number of players in this side I actually genuinely really like as players. Like, I remember Cookie's one of those players, Chaz is one of those players, Greeny. I know he's not playing very much. George, I really like George. That Jacko is one of those players. I can't remember a non-Paul Hurst side in my lifetime who I've liked as many players in. Anyway, what's so funny?
You read that last comment, Sam.
Yeah, Steve. He says Mike dreams of a free hit on his first ball received.
But yeah, I think you make a really good point. And I said it on Twitter yesterday that I think the full credit to Amal Azur and Ador, particularly, for having to wait their turn and bide their time. I've come into this side over the last few games. Amal Azur's off, even contributing off the bench as well. And we didn't have that last season, did we? That when we had the first 11 fit, Mike's wincing in pain, bless him. I just want to tell you, this is like Platoon here, everybody. Mike is full Kieran Green and he's in pain right now.
Just to divert, I know we didn't do the chat shit because we're professionals and we just crack on with the even bigger shit. I'm so grateful Alex and Bruce ain't here because you guys haven't mentioned a thing. Thank you so much.
It's all right.
Maybe you should do World Series DN35, Mike. We should a breakaway podcast.
I'm in a little bit of pain. I was playing cricket in the nets today and I popped my calf. But I'm here because I'm the professional.
He's doing a Steve Waugh. Steve Waugh, he got 100 with a ripped hamstring once, didn't he? Is that right?
Well, because Aussie don't count.
Well, it's a bit like who was it? Was trying to bat at the end of the India series. Chris Wokes, absolutely. But anyway, digressing. But the thing that we didn't have last season at this stage of the season, and it was very telling, especially at Port Vale and at Harrogate last season when we got pulled back, was options off the bench and strength in depth. And that them issues have seemingly been addressed this season, haven't they? So Full credit to everybody, an amazing effort. And this is it. So the situation is, as it stands, as everyone knows now, that a win on Saturday will take us into the playoffs. Mike has his hand up. He
I was
wants
going to say, would you like some introductory music to make this feel like it's a big feature?
Oh yes, please.
Right, I would just need some though, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I thought you had it queued up, ready.
Oh, no, I've got my favourite one.
Well, it's not a Sam hot take, but this one is a Youngie hot take. I tell you what, how things have changed for Grimsby, right? Martin Lusty, I know, is a very loyal supporter. His post on here is their tickets free for Saturday for a league game, and we have three days out. How things have changed over the years. So it is a home end sellout, massive game on Saturday. It's almost like the playoff quarterfinal, isn't it? We've got our first time. So these are the current permutations as they stand. So 3 points against Swindon guarantees us playoffs. 4 points, which is a draw against Swindon and a win against Tranmere, should be enough due to our goal difference. Okay, so 3 points against Tranmere would need Chesterfield to lose or draw one of their final games. 2 points would need either Chesterfield to beat Swindon on the last day, Chesterfield to lose at least one of their games, and Barnet not to catch us on goal difference. 1 point would need Chesterfield to only gain 1 point and Barnet not to win any of their games. And 0 points is where everyone fucks up, yet we win on default. There you go. So there are plenty of options available, but I think we'd all like option A, wouldn't we?
We would get it done nice and early, and rest everybody. I would say not everybody can fuck up because two of them are playing each other. They can't both lose. Similarly, they can't both win. They can't both lose. But
I was referring to Chesterfield and Barnet particularly.
Ah, right.
Who are below us, yeah.
But yeah, it's a big game on Saturday. There's no getting away from that. There's no point anybody pretending it's not, because it is. And I think to do otherwise is silly, rather. The players will know it's a big game. So just I hope everybody that gets down there gets behind the team. Don't make it about Holloway. We've said this before. He loves it. Absolutely fucking loves it. So nothing to do with him. It's all about us. And this team, as I've said a couple of times, every time it gets knocked back, it goes again. And it's done it after Chesterfield. It's gone on 2 massive wins. And it needs one more win. And then that's us in the playoffs. Then that's another conversation. But full credit to everybody that's going down. Blundell Park being sold out so early is huge. And it's a bit of a testament to what's been created at the club, I think. It's a feel-good factor, again. It might not come off this year, but it will come off. Whether it's this year or next year, it will come off. I'm absolutely 100% on that because of the progression you can see in this team. So, enjoy it.
It's amazing, isn't it? I was going to say there about the game on Saturday that if we equip ourselves and play properly, I think we'll win. I mean, there was a graph doing the table doing the rounds this morning on Twitter, which shows that since Christmas we are the best team in this division. And then before the end of October, we're also one of the best 2 or 3 teams in this division. Aside from the fact that terrible that 2-month run in November and December when Pim develops his inability to make a save, we would be.
That's 24 minutes till the first dig. 24 minutes.
Do you know how much it took for me not to lay into him after Smith made that save about goalkeepers? Leave it alone. I was ready. I was ready to go at him.
This is something. We're all being nice to each other tonight. This is weird. This.
You're still all pricks.
We had that anyway. Aside from that, we thought that terrible mid-game. Even that one had been. I know it sounds a bit churlish to complain about after such a big win last night, but we're a podcast, content creation, and all that. If that mid-season run had just been a little bit less shit, and I'm not talking about much, but a little bit less shit, we'd be in with a real chance of going up automatically now. I mean, we're not mathematically out of it. If we win on Tuesday, if we win on Saturday, and Cambridge don't, we will go into the final day of the season with a mathematical chance of going up automatically. Obviously, we're not going to, because it would mean Cambridge failing to beat both Barrow and Colchester, which just isn't going to happen. But
it would also need Salford and Notts County to fail as well.
No,
yes,
just one thing, just before because it's John said, but just one thing about that. Every single team has that. We're not special. Every single team has lost games they shouldn't have done. Swindon have. Every MK Dons have got 1 point against us. So we've done really well that we've corrected. I think we've overridden it. By the form we've had since Christmas, I think it cancels it out. Genuinely, because I think we're the best in the division form-wise, so it's cancelled it out. So if we don't go up, we could all say if we got 3 points against Harrogate and scored that penalty against Chesterfield, but every team can say that. That's football. That's how it works.
I said on Sunday, I think the frustration has been the fact that we know we're so close. Yes, every team has that, but we know we could have been there because we're such a good footballing team, and we can just look at individual errors in individual moments, whereas I think probably other teams can look at whole games. I don't know. It's difficult to take, but I think I said yesterday in a chat with Sam, I'm of the same mindset. You can always look back and you can always say what if, but ultimately we've asked the players to do what they needed to do. And if we look at the end of last season, I said, or the beginning of this season, I said, if we want to progress, realistically, the only thing we can really point to is the playoffs, is making the playoffs. Yes, we can look at points. Yes, we can look at goals. We can look at games won. Ultimately, the only real measure of success for this team to say it's progressed is into the playoffs. And, we are very close to doing that. So the team have done what we've asked the team to do. And there's no point in us trying to look back now and right any of the wrongs. So it's pointless. I think there's a couple of things that we should probably think about, which is the team for Saturday. We talked about the monumental effort that went in last night, and we've had 2 long away journeys. Those boys worked, really bloody hard last night. That's not easy. We have got some fresh legs to come on if we want them, or do we just stick with the team that we know, has got the momentum? When we rested players for that Chesterfield game with the build up to it, the Harrogate game, before the Harrogate game, it didn't really work out. So do we stick with it, or do we maybe twist? I think that's a legitimate conversation to be had. And I just want to make a quick point, as I know there's a couple of hands up, but I think Mike used the word progression, and the fact that whatever happens this season, we're going to, go up at some point. But I think look at the last 5 years, and yes, we can look at what's happened on the pitch, but I think Jason and Andrew need some credit in this conversation, because this team, from getting promoted, first time of asking, getting to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, and then competing at the top end of League Two, which we've not done for a very, very long time, and now being in the sniff of the playoffs, is not something that just happens by luck and just on the training ground. It's a whole team effort, everyone behind the scenes. We know how hard the club work in the shop, making the match day experience a good one. So I think, while things are good and whatever happens, because we don't know how football always pans out, I think we need to give a huge amount of credit, in every direction, because the players on the pitch last night deserve every accolade they get, and Artel deserves it too. But let's not forget, it's a whole team effort to get us to this point. As I said, I'm still riding on a bit of a high, so there's a bit of a love-in for me today. If we have the same conversation on Saturday afternoon at 3 or 4 o'clock, it might be a little bit different.
Isn't you after we've a defeat, John. Sometimes you and Young have to talk down.
I know, mate. And do you know what? I am sometimes, I know. Look at me after Chesterfield. I put my hands up. I was pretty pessimistic with the rest of us.
I tell you what, though, I'm going to name and shame here. Do you know who the most pessimistic is in the pod chat? It's Hannah. Hannah is the most pessimistic one. There you go. Especially if you saw her comments on the Reddit yesterday. But there you go. And
look, I agree with John. I mean, big picture, it's not done yet. So we've still got to get over that line and then enter into another period and try and get over that line. However, probably doesn't surprise a lot of people. My mind's made up whether we make it or not. I think we've progressed, and I like the way we travel. But That's because I'm always overly optimistic. So that's why I said earlier, if it isn't this year, it will be next year. Right? I'm telling you, it will be. Right? We're going places. We've got the right infrastructure, got the right back of house stuff, got the right manager, players, owners. Everything is going the right way. In terms of tomorrow, ordinarily, I'd say you'd probably want to freshen it up. But this is a big game, biggest game at season. No, you know what I mean. Sorry. It's Saturday, right? Biggest game at season. Players know it. There is an element of stick with what's done it for you so far and what's been working. Have the fresh legs come on if you need to change it. But that emotion and adrenaline will give them more in their legs. It might not on a Tuesday in December against Bromley away, but it will at Swindon at home, second to last game at season to get into the playoffs. They'll run further, they'll run harder. Stick with what's been working. No need to change it. If you need to, you've got plenty of ability on that bench that you can bring off.
I'm not sure I 100% agree with that. I think I get the point you're making, but you've got to look at it from Cookie's 36, right? He's had an ACL. He's played 90 minutes last night. He played 90 minutes at Chesterfield. He played 80 odd minutes at Gillingham. Can you ask him to go again?
Yes, because he's a fucking machine. Go again.
He is. I mean,
all of them. Go again.
I could talk about brilliant anti-cookies all day. I mean, I thought when we signed him, I thought, oh, is this an old time looking for one last pay? Absolutely no chance. He's fit and he's not. There's two types of fit, isn't there? He's available to play, but he runs hard. He's way more mobile than Flea. He's a way better player than he was when he was with us. Was it 13 years ago? But my view is start Vernon on Saturday. Actually, it'll be a game of football on Saturday in a way that last night wasn't really. It was more direct. And I just think he's been out for a spit now. I wasn't entirely impressed with going defensively. I think KB's been a lot better in the last couple of games, but against Swindon at home at Blundell Park with his quality, I want Vernon inside on Saturday. There is a bit of my toy's been fixed and I want to play with it again. I get that vibe, but
no, I agree. That's the only change I would.
Charles Vernon a toy.
That's the only. I agree with you, Sam. That is the only change I'd be maybe thinking about, or perhaps Burn back in for Amalazer as well. I'm getting a head shake from John there. No, Sam's saying no as well. But okay. But,
I'm a big fan of him. I wouldn't. I think. But Burns is a good player, and I'll die on this hill. But it's defensively. He doesn't give us enough offensively, and against Holloway's team on Saturday, from what I've seen. Get at him. Get him. Well, if you've got Kabia, if you're playing Kabia, right, who has been phenomenal. Now he's played a few games out in that left wing. He's scoring goals. He's getting assists. He's harrying people. He can also come a bit more central and give you a 2 up top and compete against 2 centre halves. If that doesn't work, you've got Vernon to come on for half an hour and get at him again. Get at him.
Well, that's a good point, actually. Oh, sorry, John.
Well, no, just quickly on it. So I think Cook is the question for me, and it's not whether he's able to do it. It's just that his age and his work, as Sam said, he's worked so hard in the last 2 games, and whether he can do it for as long as we need him to. I don't want to see Burns back in. I think for 2 reasons. I think Justin's deserved his place back, and I think he's earned it, and I think he's earned the right to keep it. And I think he offers a lot more going forward than Burns does. And I point to that chance in the second half yesterday. Throwing comes in, Amaluzor, shields the ball, turns the defender, takes the ball in his left foot, albeit gets a bad shot away. Burns just can't do that. No, and he just doesn't have that same physical threat. Listen, I don't want to sort of sound a little bit negative. I'm not massively impressed with KB on the left. Having said that, there's no doubt that he gets himself in better positions because he comes into the box late and he can, make good runs. I don't think he offers enough outside of that compared to what Vernon can do. However, seeing Vernon the last couple of games coming on and just the mind, you can almost see the defenders starting to have to defend a little bit differently. They just look a bit more nervous. They've obviously had a little bit, 70 odd minutes of, dealing with KB and the like in Staunton. And suddenly they know that our star man, our most dangerous players coming on. And you can just see the nerves kicking in. And I'd be tempted to start Vernon, but I think having him to come on after however long you need him, 60, if it's not going well, 70 if it is, just offers you something really quite special and has to give someone else something to think about. I think yesterday I was quite shocked to see the sort of change in system. I was shocked to see Green go off, who, by the way, was phenomenal yesterday. I mean, absolutely. Last 2 games, captain's performance, but that single-handedly has dragged us to those 2 results. I think phenomenal performance, and him going off ordinarily would have worried me, but my God, Walker came on and was brilliant. As you've said, Warren, excellent too. But the change of shape was really, really interesting. Sending KB a bit more in the middle and putting Vernon out wide with Amelie on the other side. So we've got the ability to mix it up a little bit. I'd be tempted to stick with it. I think this is the kind of game you hope Cook can still do it for, isn't it? And just one big push and then just wrap him in cotton wool. Doesn't even need to be on the bench with Tranmere. Stick him up.
Just before Sam moves us on, just really quickly, one sentence. I think that's harsh on KB. I thought he was phenomenal against Gillingham. I thought he had a really good relationship.
I disagree, mate. I disagree.
I thought he got about 4 or 5 crosses right across the box, and him and Staunton were getting the overlaps going, and were causing havoc. I thought he was outstanding with against them.
I think just quickly, I know someone's a talk. I'm sorry, Sam. Just really, really quickly. I don't just look. His goal scoring record since coming off the left has been brilliant. I think he gets pushed off the ball a bit easily. I don't think his touch with his back to goal is as good, and I don't see him taking on players like Vernon can do. So, look, he's been brilliant. All these players have been brilliant. I love them all. He scored 20 goals this season. So who the hell am I to talk shit about him? Whoever plays in that position, absolutely will back him to the hill. I think, if we have a completely fit Vernon starts, doesn't he? This season, I think it's if we hadn't had that injury, he wouldn't have lost his place to Kabia. It's as simple as that.
Maybe it's a little bit harsh to sort of compare him to Vernon. Comparing to Vernon, because Vernon is, but obviously you can't say this with any great certainty, but Vernon's one of, if not the best player in the league when he's fully at it. And you're absolutely right. I mean, Vernon's fit, Vernon plays. You sort of covered it, but you go to the bit I mentioned about Greeny. Sort of the fact that since we've signed Cookie and since we've signed Maldini as well, we can compete physically against these sort of bigger, stronger sides a lot better than we could do. They're a bit of our kryptonite last season and the start of this season, weren't they? Where you could, frankly, beat us up. But Green and Cookie won loads of headers last night, both of them. I don't know whether it was it looked like a deliberate thing. We bypassed the midfield quite a lot last time. They were very good at sort of being on you and not really giving you a lot of time to play. Sometimes I think we forget that 2 sides play the game. But they competed physically and won lots of flick-ons and lots of second balls. I thought I agreed that Green was excellent again last night. I'd have given man of the match to Cookie, I think, if I had to. But maybe that's just me. But no, I genuinely think on Saturday, if we turn up, do our jobs properly, work hard, play properly, we'll beat them. They're in pretty iffy form. I think you know the stats on this, Mike. Is it 3 wins in 12, 3 wins in 11, something like that?
It's something like that, because I was having this chat last week, weren't we? And I was saying that they've won like 3 out of 11, and 2 of those wins with late winners, and a couple of the draws with late equalisers. And that is, if you do that every so often, it's a team of character that keeps going. If that becomes a pattern, you can't keep scoring late goals. I mean, you can for a while, but it runs out. So
Liverpool start the season.
If you've watched them, because I've said this for a while, Holloway looks like he's about to lose it with the fan base and the team, and they've been off it for a little while. Now, don't make it that Holloway, that's not important, but Swindon have been the one I've been looking at for a while as a dropping off.
I just can't get away from my head the idea that with this brilliant win on Tuesday night and our season's now going to be, I don't know, completely fucked by Ian Holloway on Saturday. I just cannot get that idea out of my head. Sorry,
Sam, you're speaking like a natural town fan. I think we're all thinking that deep down, aren't we? It's a good point. The only 3 games they've won in that spell are against Walsall, who are on a dreadful run themselves, away at Tranmere, who are also pretty dreadful, and away at Gillingham, who are also pretty dreadful. So I think that, Swindon are definitely flattering to deceive, They draw an awful lot of games. But I watched the second half on Saturday, and Accrington had 60% possession against them. Away from they're playing away from home, a team that have got nothing really to play for. And what the telling thing for me was that how frustrated the Swindon fans were getting. Like they were, you could, when you could, the natural when you hear the kind of loud groans, a misplaced pass. There was a lot of that going on. They do not feel confident about this at all. And I think if we can get at them early with a bit of an atmosphere, I think that's the key. We can't rest around on Saturday. We've got to get on the front foot very, very quickly. And I think if we put the pressure on them, I think they're there to be taken. But and I know that sounds like awfully optimistic words from myself. Going back to Andy Cook, I just want to say,
I don't like that. I don't like that. That rhetoric's dangerous.
But going back to what you said about Andy Cook, I don't think tiredness will be an issue with Cookie on Saturday, because I think mentally he will be that up for it that he will see it through. And I have to say, last night again, he was everywhere on the pitch. He was superb last night. He was acting as a third centre back at times. He was dragging defences with him when he wasn't getting an awful lot of service himself. Again, so I can't, I'm watching him going. I thought I was a bit like you, Sam. I thought, oh God, are we signing a lumbering cart horse of a striker here that needs to play? But he's the complete opposite. He works so hard, and he's full credit. He's proved me wrong, and he's been absolutely superb.
You just have to pick your best team, right? Throughout the season, you can rest players, change players, give players an opportunity. But you have to pick the best team you think is going to win the game with skill and ability, the best players that are on form, and the best players that fit into how you want to play tactically. You can't. That's what you do, because if you get it done on Saturday, they can have a week off. Get it done on Saturday. Never take it to the last game. Down that path lies madness. Right? Get it done. Play Cook, right, and then he can have some time off. Win.
Yeah,
and then play Stevie Crowson and Neil Woods at Tranmere.
I don't think he'll do that because of his compo, will he?
Cook was my man of the match yesterday, and it wasn't just for what we expect from Cook. Some of the play in that second half, he was getting the ball, beating players, got a bit of skill to get a shot away, didn't quite get it right a couple of times, but he was creating chances, holding up the ball, taking players out of the game, bringing other players into the game. He was, when we used the word warrior, he was about as good as it gets. I completely agree. I want him to start. I absolutely want him to start on Saturday. As I say, I just don't want him to run himself completely into the ground after 50, 60 minutes when we might need him. But you start him. You obviously start him, and he was incredible last night. And then, as you say, Mike, wrap him up in cotton wool, give him anything he needs, and get him ready.
Even the winner that comes, it's a corner that it starts with. It's created by Cook getting to a ball that he was second favourite for, and then using his upper body strength to sort of shield it and then whack it into him. And it goes out. Just fantastic centre forward play. And then when we've won, he wins 2 brilliant cheap free kicks to relieve pressure and allow us to get us up the pitch. It was apart from scoring, he'd have a great chance when it was 0-0. It was almost the sort of, if you were sort of a lecturer and you wanted to sort of create a sort of lab creation of a League 2 centre forward performance, it was Cook last night. Aside from that, aside from the miss, but nobody's perfect, are they? Although Cookie is as close to it as possible. Sorry, I'm going all sort of romantic about Cookie now.
No, we love to hear that. And what we love to hear, just might bring up that message again from Martin Lusty. That is brilliant. So Martin came on earlier asking if there was any tickets left for Saturday, and his prayers have been answered. He says, "What amazing fans we have! I think I've managed to get a ticket for him and his daughter." So, well, whoever's helped Martin out there,
well done,
fantastic.
Sam.
Well done. Well done.
Congratulations, giving it up.
Thanks, Sam. That's very nice of you, Sam. Thank you.
My tickets. Sorry, I'm all sorted, mate. Don't worry. My ticket's going nowhere. It's already sorted.
I know. We've been a bit heavy on stuff, haven't we? We've covered a lot of ground. But one thing I don't know if we have chatted about that I noticed Gillingham and again last night is we have the strength and depth, but we have players that are willing to play in a lot of different positions. We saw Warren and Kabia in the middle of the park with Walker last night, and they didn't look to be doing too much too wrong. And Walker against Gillingham, I thought was highly influential, playing in that deeper role. I didn't think he could do it. Somebody pointed out to me they thought he could. I thought he was wrong, and I was wrong. He looked good. And then there was one opportunity last night. He won the ball up really high. I think he put Cookie in, and we just missed the opportunity. But we've got players that we've got a lot of strength and depth, but we've got players that don't mind rolling the sleeves up. And yeah, I'll have a go in there. KB, yeah, I'll get number 10 and I'll track back. I've played 85 minutes. I'll run up and down here still. So, that's a good thing as well. But hopefully we can maybe get one or two back. I'm thinking Corey and McEachran. That would be really, really good.
I think I've heard Arthur Rodgers is desperate to have a go in goal as well. That's something that I've heard. I don't know if anybody else has heard that one.
Tranmere's got a great opportunity.
I think we've talked about a lot of players, and I think, as I said, we can go through the whole team. I want to give a special mention to Staunton, who was at fault for that goal, for their equaliser. But that second half, and you think about the mentality, you think about what happened a week ago, he could have easily taken Staunton out of the team. No one would have blinked if Sweeney came back in. We all would have understood it. He didn't look nervous at all against Gillingham. He really stood up to the challenge then. And I thought yesterday, second half, he was immense against a really tricky winger, by the way. So again, credit to the coaching team, because, it must have been a really difficult situation for him to be in after that penalty miss, a long way from home, having to travel back all that way with that on his mind. The players are probably thinking, have I let the team down? Have I let, the fans down? But whatever was said, it obviously hasn't got to him, and he pulled out a phenomenal second half last night. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, assist aside, because assist was phenomenal, bit of skill in the first half, but he defended brilliantly yesterday. So I think he deserves a special mention, because, as you say, week's a long time. Could have been a horrible end to his season, but he's absolutely stood up to it, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. And I mean, again, a player that's come from non-league North to play a good amount of games. Two this season we picked up, and two have ended up being gems. That is credit to the full scouting system, and everybody included. In fact, yeah, Billy Simmons says about Chelsea being interested in Artel. Well, we're doing the Chelsea model right now, but we're doing it better. So if you want to learn Chelsea, come to us.
I saw something earlier about Chelsea. I think James Hogarth said he would be a football manager. If Chelsea carry on the way they're going, it'll be all of our turn one day.
Yeah, I'll do it. 24 million quid for 4 weeks work out, 4 months.
No, he has it. Behave. Of course, yeah. I saw that earlier. Of course, he has a break clause in there. What numpty? Well, probably.
He's got a 6-year contract.
Does not have a break clause in that contract. Behave.
He's got a 6-year contract, and he's out after 4 months. Yeah. Come on. He's getting a sweet deal.
Even if it's like 2 million, like that's still like.
I like it. I quite like the bloke, actually. I thought he always came across quite well on Humberside. But
yeah, he was.
He talks bollocks. Yeah,
it's a
well, you should get on with him then, because he speaks your fucking language.
Coming from you.
Yeah.
He wasn't Sir David Brent when he was at Hull. He wasn't talking. And I expected him to come out of the Chelsea office today wearing an ostrich outfit and basically go, well, that's that day ruined.
Have they sacked him?
It's a bit like a Vegas rock bar, isn't it?
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, I missed it. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's gone.
No, we'll edit that bit out, Mike. It's a bit like a sort of Vegas rock pub. Like, there's a fine line between authentic rock and roll bar and a Vegas rock bar. And I think Racine sort of passed the Rubicon of sort of thinking man's, football manager to just complete and utter fucking walking cliche the whole time. And just with no sense of humor about it. Like, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, at least do it with a bit of smile on your face. Like, you've given a note to someone in the 88th minute when you're 6-0 down or something, and just have a bit of a joke about it. He's just he's past the Rubicon of
it's not on the modern world in terms of everybody being so earnest and so kind of polished, and so it's such a contrived image. It's just it's a reflection of how the world's gone as much as anything, and he's a kind of he's a kind of product of that. You can see it in how everybody in the kind of upper echelons of society behaves. It's all an image. It's all creative. It's all about optics. It's all this. It's not about what you do anymore. It's about how you look and how you sound.
Not wanting to go on to a Chelsea rant, so maybe the last thing is I do think, mate, I've not liked a lot of the stuff, and I think there is an element sometimes of people from certain backgrounds maybe having to try harder than people from other backgrounds to go far.
That's fair. I think that's absolutely fair.
That's fair.
And I think a lot of criticism an older manager wouldn't get for sending on a note. Jose Mourinho would not have got criticised for sending a note on in the 86th minute.
No, what I will say,
Scott Parker would either. That's the point
I agree with them points, but he certainly hasn't helped himself in the way he's been interviewed.
Anyway,
so some of the thing. Anyway, going off track. A couple of things I just wanted to note on. Well done to the club yesterday. They put on a showing at McMenemy's with a pizza buffet and things like that. Really good value, and it sold out. And apparently, it was a really good atmosphere at McMenemy's. So credit to the club. Great idea from the commercial department. You get the bar used on Tuesday nights. That's wonderful. I've read on Facebook that, like the AFC Wimbledon game last year, there is supporters planning to have a march down to the ground on Saturday. I think I read they're leaving the scratching post in Cleethorpes about 11:45. So if anyone wants to get involved with that, it was really good last year. There's loads of people going down Cleethorpes Road, really good atmosphere building up to the game. So anyone jump on that as well. All right. I have got a question. Oh, sorry, John.
Just quickly on the atmosphere on Saturday. I hope the club lets it grow organically. I don't know what the plans are. We've tried a few different things this season: the tifos, the clappers, the thing. If the fans can't get themselves motivated for this, we really have lost, any chance. So, fair play to the club for trying different things. I've been a supporter of that effort because I don't get to the ground as often as I know you all do, but it does need work clearly. But this is a game where you shouldn't need to ask your fans to step up for it. I thought the United game was perfect. We didn't need to put things on seats or have a minute of this or do that. It built itself naturally. So, let's hope we can get over this big crowd hoodoo and just let's see the fans can do their bit.
Yeah, here. So, look, if you go into Swindon Park on Saturday, as John says, let's just get behind them from minute one. And as well, no matter what the result is tomorrow, because it is potentially the last home game, please stick around after the game and let the players have a lap of honour. They deserve it. They deserve everything they've had this season. No matter what the result is, we've had an amazing year. It has been so much fun. If somebody said to you, you beat Man United and with 2 games to go, you've got 1 win away from being a playoffs. I think most of us would have said this is a pretty much near the perfect season. So we've got a chance to do it on Saturday. Don't leave early. Get behind the boys. Stay behind. Show them your appreciation because it's been wonderful. Anything to say before we go to our game? All right, we're bringing back an old classic for today's game. It is the lineups game. We have played Cambridge quite a lot over the last kind of 15, 20 years or so, either non-league or in the league. So I have picked out 5 different games. What I'm asking, I will give you the dates, I will give you the score, and I'm asking you to tell me who was playing that day. Mike really needs substituting, so we'll make this as quickly as he can because he is struggling. Bless him.
I'm struggling.
But so basically, we would simply do it on an elimination basis for each round. Okay. So the first, I want Pete. So it's starting lineup and substitutes. Our first game comes from the 3rd of January 2005. The score was Grimsby 3, Cambridge United 0. We will start with Mike.
Fuck off, starting with me. What year was it? Sorry, say the date.
3rd of January 2005. So the 04-05 season.
Stephen Mildenhall.
Stephen Mildenhall is incorrect.
Fucking year, Anna.
Yeah. Sam.
My first ever completed game of football that I watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to Rochdale on New Year's Day and it got rained off our.
Oh yeah, I went to that as well. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Anthony Williams on the grass.
It was Big Tony Williams. Yeah, John.
Now I know the year.
I told you the year twice.
No, now I know what year.
Nobody told me.
It was the pain. It was the pain.
I'm bored of hearing this.
Okay, John.
Yeah, I'm notoriously shit at these games, but I feel like I want to get out quickly just to give Mike a poor rest, poor lad. Rob Jones.
Rob Jones is absolutely correct. All right, Mike, I will give you another chance.
Ronnie Bull.
Ronnie Bull is correct. Sam.
Oh no, Sam's out. He's gone.
Is he?
Oh, here he is.
I made a Keir
The
Starmer
quiz.
joke.
The quiz.
I made a Keir Starmer.
I've got the buttons tonight.
Yeah. Okay, Sam. Go for it.
Dokey.
Before he cuts you off again.
John McDermott.
John McDermott is absolutely correct. John.
Oh God. 2005. Gary Cohen.
Gary Cohen is incorrect. Mike.
I tell you who I'm looking at, the Frenchman. The Frenchman was an absolute disgrace when he went on.
Well, he won that today because he scored. So Thomas Pino is correct. Sam.
Andy Parkinson.
Andy Parkinson is absolutely correct. Mike.
Jason Crow.
Jason Crow, yeah, lovely mention of Jason Crow, yeah, absolutely correct. Sam.
Michael Reddy.
Michael Reddy is incorrect. Now, because I gave Mike another chance, I'm going to make him say one more. So, Mike.
Simon Ramsden.
Simon Ramsden, Rambo, who allegedly had a Newcastle United tattoo on his penis, is absolutely correct. The others that played that day that not mentioned: Terrell Forbes, Terry Fleming, whose son is currently with us, maybe not, maybe. Martin Gritton, Darren Mantaram, Paul Fraser, who was a subkeeper, Greg Young, Stacey Caldecott, and Graham Hockless. So we move on to the National League. It is the 23rd of August 2011. A record low attendance at Blundell Park for the home game that day. 2,616 was the attendance.
I was one of them.
Yeah, as Town beat Cambridge 2-1. We will start this time with Sam.
This is August 2011.
Oh, yeah, August 2011.
James McEwen.
James McEwen is absolutely correct. John.
Oh, God, I'm so shit at these games. 2011. I can't get my head around who was playing for us then at all. Okay, so McKeon was playing. Who was playing in front of him? Oh God, I'm blanking already. Just can't get my head around these years. I'm going to go Rob Eagle.
Rob Eagle you are right with the year,
okay.
but he wasn't in the squad that day.
There you go.
Sean Pearson.
Sean Pearson was absolutely correct. Sam.
Craig Disley.
Craig Disley is absolutely correct. Mike.
This is really left field, but it came at the same time. Anthony Church.
Tony Church, yeah, he was on the bench that day. Yeah, Sam.
Liam Hearn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael Coulson.
Michael Coulson was also on the bench that day.
Rob Duffy.
Rob Duffy he was playing up front with Liam Hearn that day. Yeah, absolutely.
Rob Duffy. Bloody hell.
Try and remember the first right back they had, and I want to say Gary Silk, so I'm going to say Gary Silk.
Gary Silk
And it's not.
is incorrect.
It's Fruit Loop's brother, isn't it?
Well, that is the points to Sam because he was one ahead of you. The rest of the lineup was Lee Ridley, Bradley Wood was the right back that day.
Bradley Wood is my next guess.
Yeah, Tyrone Thompson, Frankie Artis, Serge Makofo started that day.
Are you sure?
I'm sure he was there. Charlie Ianson, Damien Spencer, and Anthony Eldon.
There's a name, Charlie Ianson. When you go to Spain, everybody thought it was going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, he did play. He played.
You know, right?
He made an appearance in the Liga, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I show up, I've made an appearance in the Liga. Doesn't mean I've made a career out of it, does it? I've got no beef with Charlie Ianson. Sorry.
So I'll give you a bit. So poor Charlie Ianson.
I liked him.
So
just a shade thrown at him by McMahon.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, that's the title. McMahon hates Charlie.
Yeah.
Anyway, John, you're first for this one. I'll give you a slight move in the right direction. Russell Slade has just taken back over for his second spell as manager. The 14th of April 2017, we win 2-1 against Cambridge at home. Who was playing that day?
Thank you for the sort of kids stabilizers there. Oh my god, I don't know what was I doing in these years. I just don't remember years at all. It's just not how my brain works. Okay, 2017, James McKeown.
Yeah, James McKeown is absolutely correct. Mike.
Is he guessing or is he in such agony he can't speak?
I'm a bit in both. I'm trying to think, and I'm absolutely in bits, fellas.
Oh, mate.
Mitch Rose.
Mitch Rose is incorrect. Sam.
Jamie Osborne.
Jamie Osborne is correct. John.
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones, yeah, absolutely. Good looking man. Became a preacher. Sam Jones. Did he? Yeah. He did, yeah. You Google him, yeah. He's his online sermons in Doncaster, yeah, absolutely. True story. Sam.
Danny Collins.
Danny Collins is absolutely correct. John.
Oh, is it back to me?
Yeah.
17. No, I'm really struggling. What's his name? Oh, no, wouldn't be him, would it? I was going to say, I can't even remember his name. I'll say Disley.
Craig Disley, yeah, he was on the bench.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. There you go. Sam.
Danny Andrew.
Danny Andrew. He was player of the season that year. Absolutely. And yes, he was playing. John.
Was Bogle with us then?
Bogle had just gone. Yeah, so he just gone a few months before. So
just
Sam.
Before you read it out, were there other players like was Nathan Dyson in that side, for example? His
name's not Nathan Dyson.
Whatever it's called, not Nathan Dyson, not Jay.
You've named two players there.
Callum Dyson.
You've named two players.
I'll allow that. But yes, that is for the win for the round. The rest of the team was Andrew Boyce, Gav Gunning, Zach Mills, James Barrett, Chris Clements,
Linwer.
Vose was in the squad, Bolawinra was in the squad, Dan Jones, Sean Pearson, Ben Davis, and Adi Youssef.
Yeah. That's twice I fucked up the wrong year.
Yeah. Well, you got a chance to redeem yourself here because it is our second spell in the Football League, but it is ended. The final game of the season we had to play, we were already relegated, and we had to go to Cambridge, who needed to win to get promoted. And it was the first time we played in front of a crowd as well for the whole season as well. They beat us 3-0. Paul Mullen scored for Cambridge that day. He actually ended up following us to the conference. But what was the side for our final day in the Football League for a year? Mike. James McEwen was in goal, yes, correct. Sam.
Linnell John Lewis.
He was. He played up front, correct. John.
Harry Clifton.
Harry Clifton, absolutely correct. Mike.
Is it acceptable just say Alex's favourite player?
Are you talking about the
Not
one that
Kieran.
shares a...
Yeah.
Yes, Matt Green played. We had a forward line of Matt Green and Linnell John Lewis that day. Sam.
This is already getting a bit difficult. Jay Mateta.
Jay Mateta.
Oh no,
He was suspended.
He was suspended once
He was
because he got sent
suspended.
off
Yeah,
Exeter.
he did indeed. Yes, John.
What a crap time this was.
Oh, it was awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it Moraes? Was he still there, or was he not playing for us anymore?
No, he disgraced himself by that point.
He did disgrace himself. Yeah, he did. So Mike wins that round. The rest of the team.
I've got loads from there. This is a year I remember.
Go, you name them then. Go on.
Waterfall.
Waterfall was on the bench, yes.
Pollock. Spoke.
Hendry, Pollock.
Lammy. Habergam.
Lammy. Habergam, yeah.
Hewitt, maybe. No.
Yeah, Hewitt played, yeah.
Many essay
played. Who was that last one, sorry?
Ira Jackson.
Yeah. Corey as well. But yeah, you just named the lineup. The only people you missed.
Ollie Battersby would have been
Ollie Battersby, yeah.
Did you get Evan Curry?
Yeah, you got Evan Curry. The only two you missed out are Sean Scannell.
How could I?
And Lewis Adlard.
What, he was fit? Sean Scannell was available to play.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's not. He was named on the bench.
He was named on the bench, yeah. So it's a different story.
I know I get a rep for being harsh on people's injuries, but Scannell, my word, that bloke spent a lot of time injured in the time he played for us.
So the final one then. So Mike is winning through. I think Mike. Oh, it's 2-2, isn't it? It's 2-2. So I might exclude you from this one, John, because it is decided.
Please do, mate. Please do.
This is the FA Cup run where it all started. Cambridge away. We win. Oh, it was in the second round.
Second round, yes.
It was second round. We beat League One Cambridge 2-1. 26th of November 2022. Sam to start.
This is the only one I might have got some players in, by the way. But I'm glad I'm out.
You could sweep up at the end, John.
Otis Carr.
Otis Carr, yeah, of course. He scored the late winner.
He's scored both, I think you'll find.
He's got there you go.
Crampman.
Who was that, sorry?
Crampman, Crocombe.
Crocombe, yeah. He's a crap man. That's correct. Sam.
Luke Waterfall.
Luke Waterfall is correct.
I'm going to say it just to piss him off, Michi Fete.
Michi Fete. Oh, he played the Sam card against him, and he is correct. Sam.
Gavin Holohan.
Gavin Holohan, staple of that cup run. He played.
McAtee. Fucking
McAtee. That's right. He did play.
Uncle Bryn Morris.
Uncle Bryn Morris. Uncle Bryn Morris. I did see his name. Yeah, he was on the bench.
Horsey must have been involved because we didn't have.
Yeah, he was also on the bench. Danny Horsey. Not the game yet.
Andy Smith.
Andy Smith was also on the bench that game.
Has he said Kieran Green?
No, but
Kieran
you
Green.
said it, and he played. Yeah, absolutely.
Given Smith's on the bench, Niall Marr.
Niall Maher, yeah, he was a starting centre-back. Absolutely correct.
I'm just taking a punt. The other centre-back was Sean Pearson. Was he involved?
Sean Pearson was on the bench.
The other one was Waterfall. I've already
Yeah,
said
you already said Waterfall. Yeah, absolutely. Sam.
Was it him or was it his mate? I'm going to guess Glennon.
Anthony Glennon is incorrect.
Oh,
So, Mike,
I remember,
this is for the win.
Game.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to pick one now.
We'll go through the left back.
Well, I know that is, but I want to pick a random one. Alex Hunt.
Alex Hunt was on the bench.
I wanted to say Partington, but I thought he might not have played him or had him on the bench or something.
Partington, did you say?
Hardlington.
Yes, he was on the bench. You could have said that.
I thought it was probably Hurst. Oh, you get subs.
Yeah. So it was Danny, the people you missed out were Danny Amos, Harry Clifton, Brendan Kiernan, Evan Corey, Kiki Simmons, Lewis Richardson. Yes. There we go. So Mike wins 3-2. Good game, everyone. And that, to be fair, for an impromptu podcast, we've managed an hour and 10 minutes. So we've done very, very well there. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this evening, especially Mike.
It's all right. Do you want to know how I feel right now?
Go on. How do you feel?
Get him out!
Roll credits.
Oh, fuck. Hang on.
Oh, that would have been... I thought you had the time in there superbly. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Come on town for Saturday. Come on!
Once in every lifetime comes a love like this. Oh, I need you, you need me. Oh, my darling, can't you see? Young ones, darling, we're the young ones. The young ones shouldn't be afraid to live, love. There's a song to be sung, 'cause we may not be the young. Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy.
This antiquated main stand, I can feel it vibrating.
Say, they got penalty here with the fish flying about that. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football!
This is Vernon! Vernon scored! The supporters are invading the pitch because Grimsby Town have caused one of the biggest upsets in their history.
Love it.